Before I even get started, Dunkin' Donuts coffee creamer, first test and first try. The goal isn't to be the greatest coffee. The goal is to taste like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which to some of y'all is disgusting. Fucking the best. Fucking. Oh, it's fucking. Honestly, it's shocking how accurate that is, considering that I just use like shit instant coffee. This shit is hitting. Anyway, when looking at relationship content on the internet, I noticed that everyone has the perfect relationship advice. Everyone has that one set of directions that you can use to solve a specific problem in your love life, and they insist that if you follow what they say, you're gonna just live the fucking dream, or at least it's only really perfect in the eyes of the advice giver. The purpose of this video and all the other videos I make in general isn't to solely give you like specific relationship advice, but to reflect on my experiences so that you have the full authority on when and how to apply the information I give to your situation. And I encourage you all to take some time to reflect with me. Keep in mind that what I'm about to discuss is solely like in the context of like relationships, love, intimacy, like whatever word you want to give it, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone, or at least I hope everyone, has goals they want to accomplish in their life. An important theme to keep in mind though is that even though you have the same goal as somebody else, maybe you have a different background. You might be setting that goal at a different point in your life, accomplishing that goal under different circumstances, but most importantly, as a uniquely different person, living a unique life that can only be lived by you. The way I accomplish a particular goal will almost never require the same exact action as another person trying to accomplish the same goal. As a young adult, there's been plenty of times where I've ended up in conversations with older people who've had a lot of things to say about my life and the decisions that I've made. Those people love giving specific relationship advice in the same way that creators give relationship advice online. And just like them, they have no idea who I am, what I go through, or anything about me in general, to be so assertive in telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing. And it's even worse, considering that the advice they give tends to be like both a projection of discontent with the decisions they've made in their lives and what they believe is the path they should have taken, which is probably almost always just as uninformed and stupid as the decisions they regret that they've made in real life, actually. Anyway, the point of all this is to say, everyone has their own path when reaching their relationship goals, and the only person that knows the best path to reach those goals is you. When I see all the specific advice online, given the step-by-step how-to on reaching your relationship goals, there are, so many issues that I've noticed, but here are a few of them. The first one, I see an overgeneralization of experience where a person, in this case the advice giver, believes that because their advice worked for them, that their advice is going to work for everyone else. Two, I see an oversimplification of experience where a person will give advice while ignoring individual differences, like the context of your situation and who you are as a person, and basically whatever other characteristic, pertaining solely to you that could make their advice ineffective and just not work. The third and most important issue, I see an imbalance between guiding a person along their path and deciding that person's path for them. Too much tailoring of the information and not enough opportunity for viewers to tailor that information for themselves. Why do I think this is a problem? Well, because the person giving you the advice isn't you. When you emphasize your advice to be a strict, specific path that people should take, instead of encouraging viewers to incorporate advice at their discretion in ways they feel is most efficient to their situation, you hurt them more than you help them. The reason for that is because when you decide for people, even if the advice is 100% correct, it doesn't matter. It limits personal reflection and growth. When you show a person a specific answer instead of guiding them so they can find the answer for themselves in their own way. All you've done is taught them how to solve a specific problem. You sent them a Quizlet link. They won't understand why the answer is correct, nor will they know how to apply what they've learned to solve new problems. I just want people to guide others, not just by being this like assertive, self-proclaimed expert in the field of relationships because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. People need to start reflecting on their experiences so that viewers can see how their beliefs developed. Where did they come from? And ultimately give viewers full authority over what information to apply to themselves and the ways by which they apply it. In other words, advice givers need to stop tailoring their advice for the people and instead allow the people to tailor what's being said for themselves. This is especially important considering that many of these advice-giving content creators give relationship advice online based on beliefs stemming from personal experiences with an emotional weight that they still carry with them. Carrying such emotion in of itself and allowing it to fuel the information being relayed isn't necessarily a bad thing. The problem I have comes when the information is being relayed in the form of that perfect how-to style, one-size-fits-all relationship advice. It's literally the advice equivalent of hand-me-downs. It's hand-me-down advice. For the purpose of not giving 3 sentences to describe that kind of advice, we'll just call it from now on hand-me-down advice. Now, why is relaying emotion-based information in the form of the hand-me-down advice a problem? Emotion-based information, especially in the relationship sphere, is unreliable, and this unreliable advice is being relayed through a medium that doesn't call for self-reflection and asserts itself as coming from like a solely logical perspective. That emotion that they have inside, like they don't ever make you, the viewer, feel like this is coming from emotion. This is like, I know what I'm talking about advice. It's coming from I'm God and I know what the fuck I'm saying. So what does that mean for the viewer? It means that you typically never get the how and why the advice giver believes what they believe and are limited in your ability to apply the advice to your personal situation, which goes back to the tailoring issue I just mentioned previously. In my experience, the hand-me-down advice is just a medium that ends up confusing and fucking destroying everything you could possibly destroy in whatever relationship situation that the viewer has. It just fucks everything. To understand this better, let's work with an example. Jason has been with Samantha for 5 fucking years, and shit isn't going well. She wants to get married, and he doesn't want to do that because he just doesn't see her as somebody he can marry. Jason is so sick of Samantha fucking complaining and arguing with him every single day because she can't cope with the fact that she's not getting married to her 5-year relationship boyfriend. Point is, Jason is so sick of the complaining. He's so sick of the arguing. He says, you know what? I'm gonna go to work on Thursday. I got my shift, my PM shift at Landley's Pizza. I'm gonna kiss Brenda. Now, Brenda's his coworker and a mutual friend between him and Samantha. So they kiss, and after the kiss, Brenda tells Samantha, for whatever fucking reason, she just loves drama. Even if she's in it, she just loves it. And they start arguing again. She tells him, Samantha is fucking pissed, and Jason goes, you know what? Fuck you, bitch. I did it. And Samantha, obviously they break up. He's been drinking his life away for the past 3 weeks since he broke up with Samantha, and most importantly, he wants to make a video titled Top 10 Reasons Why You Should Leave Your Girlfriend. One of the reasons he wants to give is that if your girlfriend constantly nags you and is constantly giving you shit about wanting to get married and you don't want to get married, you should just leave her. Now, let's compare the two approaches that Jason can take to give this advice. Here's an example of the hand-me-down advice. This is no reflection at all. I'm not saying all hand-me-down advice, it doesn't have reflection. I'm just giving you the extreme here. This is the hand-me-down advice. If your girlfriend is nagging you constantly about getting married and you don't want to get married, and she keeps arguing about it with you, she doesn't care about your feelings. She doesn't care about how you feel. If she doesn't care about what you have to feel and your feelings, why should you care about her feelings? Go cheat if you want. Because fuck, man. That's the hand-me-down advice. Now, here's the approach I propose. Here's the reflection approach. I recently broke up with my girlfriend. Long-time girlfriend. The thing that set us apart was that she wanted to get married and I didn't want to marry her. I just didn't see her as my wife. You know what I'm saying? We would frequently get into arguments, and with all the other difficult things going on in my life, I just decided to cheat on her. I just felt that she wasn't considering my feelings in the arguments that we had. And if she wasn't going to respect me and what I had to say and do basically everything she can to make my life even more difficult than it already is, then I have the authority to do the same to her. Now, the reflection approach that I just gave, although it's a longer explanation, it's a lot more content, it's a lot more words in the paragraph, it allows Jason to go more in depth about his feelings and where they come from. The depth informs the viewer and allows them to successfully personalize that information to themselves and see if that's something they should follow. I'm not saying that Jason is right or what he's saying even makes sense. What I'm saying is that, like, he's allowing me to go, oh, he's stupid. Like, I don't want to listen to this guy. It's a, hey, I'm reflecting. You take what I say and you do whatever you want with it. It allows the viewer to more properly decide whether or not they should apply what Jason said to their own individual situations. I just choked and almost died. I don't know if I'm going to keep that in. Now, like I said before, those were two, those were like one or the other. There was no intermingling. There was no mixing of these two approaches at all. There was none of that stuff. But I will concede that, like, the best approach is probably a balance between the two. I mean, you know, because it's good to be assertive. It's just that, like, people just are assertive and you don't even know where it's coming from. You don't even know who they are, what they got going on. Like, you don't even know. And you're just supposed to be like, he said to cheat on my girlfriend. All right, I'm going to go cheat on my girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. I'm solely making this video because I see too much of the hand-me-downs and not enough of the reflection. I don't see it. When you reflect, you implicitly acknowledge people's individual differences. You're acknowledging that your advice is not a one-size-fits-all. It's not a hand-me-down approach. And most importantly, you don't limit how the viewers can incorporate that advice. You give them the freedom to do and figure out things on their own. And if your goal is to really help people, that's the best way to do it. Yes, be assertive, but also understand that people have their own lives and they need to go about their lives in the best way that they can for their situation, and you will never know what it is. To really know what's best for you when you're receiving advice, you need context, you need things, you need information. And when you just go, if this person does this, you should do this, it doesn't work. That's not how, you're not going to learn shit, even if it was right. Even if you decide that doing whatever they say is the best move for you, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to apply what you just did to any other similar situation, because you just got an answer. Again, Quizlet link, you know what I'm saying. I'll end this off with a quote made by me. It's okay to stand on your beliefs, but when you want others to stand on those beliefs, they need to see the ground underneath. That was fucking incredible. That was such a good fucking quote. Now, if that was the fucking best quote you ever heard, like and subscribe. If that was anything less than the best quote you ever heard, like and subscribe. AK like and subscribe. How do I end the video? I don't have like a ending page with like links to other videos. Just follow the Insta, The Real Nicholas Asherov. It's gonna be in the description. Follow the fucking YouTubes. Follow the TikToks if that stays after January. TikTok is, listen, I'm gonna talk to the TikTok people and we're gonna see, when I come into office, we're gonna see what we can do. A lot of the young voters, they're watching Joe Rogan and they're going, you know what? I like Trump. I'm gonna vote for Trump. Anyway, what if I end this shit off a clap or some shit? I'm gonna put my mic down. I'm gonna end this shit off a clap. All right, watch. This is gonna be like the best editing. This is gonna be a test of my fucking editing. Watch this shit. Ready? Some shit's gonna happen when I snap when I clap my hands right now. Ready? 3, 2, 1.